Howdy folks, I'm Rob Lamb, president and founder of Foresters, and I'm out here in the woods working for a client and taking a little lunch break with my forester's friend here. And I wanted to welcome you to our virtual annual event and celebration. We're disappointed we couldn't be together in person this year given the pandemic, and we miss seeing you in person. But we still wanted to celebrate some awesome forestry that's happening and awesome conservation and give out our annual awards. I'm so proud of what Foresters has accomplished in just 5 years. We've had a big impact, and Foresters is growing, and I can't wait to see what we'll accomplish in the years ahead. We couldn't have done it without you, our supporters, our clients, and without our dedicated staff and board, for whom I'm very grateful for all their hard work and dedication. But now is the time to celebrate and reflect on the things we've done this year. So sit back, grab a beverage of your choice, and enjoy the show.
Hi, I'm Andy Tate. I'm the Forestry Director, or as we like to call it, the Eco-Forestry Director. In addition to our nonprofit programs, like our educational outreach efforts and our community forest projects, we also offer a full range of ecological forestry consulting services. We write comprehensive, ecologically beneficial forest stewardship plans for woodland owners, we control non-native invasive species, and we conduct ecologically beneficial but totally sustainable timber harvest as well. We also work with all the local land trusts to help them be good active stewards of the land that they have permanently protected. So why is our work important? Well, only 25% of private woodland owners have a forest management plan. So we need to reach out to these people and engage them and encourage them to be good stewards of their forests. There's been a record demand for our services, both our educational forestry services as well as our consulting services. This is from landowners who want to see their forests benefit ecologically, and they want to benefit economically as well, because it's important for forestry to be financially feasible, and it can be profitable too. And we've also had clients who don't want to cut a tree, but just want to be good stewards of the woods they have. My dad used to say he managed by benign neglect, but doing nothing is not benign anymore. Due to human-caused factors like the non-native invasive species, past mismanagement, and climate change, forests are no longer taking care of themselves. We need active management. And that is why we are really encouraging people to take positive action to make a difference and improve their forests for current and future generations.
Hi, I'm Armin, Forestry Associate with Foresters. In the field this year, I've come across some incredible forests. I've seen low mountain pine forests full of pitch pine in the overstory, and I've seen northern hardwood forests full of giant northern red oak. And I've even come across the rare community of a southern Appalachian bog. I've also worked with countless fantastic landowners. If it was talking to them over the phone, explaining ecological processes on their land, or if it was walking the forest with them because they were interested to learn about their forest. To the untrained eye, forests look beautiful. But if you look just a little closer, you can often see some health issues that would need better management to improve the forest health. It is sometimes difficult to explain these intricacies of forest ecosystems and how to improve them. We have therefore started to create videos for everyone to help explain these niche issues of forest management so that we all can understand them better and improve the landscape around us. This year, we haven't just been thinking about how to improve current forests and their health. We have also worked with landowners to plant trees on their pastures where there once used to be forests. Currently, we're working with the Foothills Conservancy of North Carolina to write a forest management plan for 650 acres that will soon become a community forest where the public will be able to enjoy the forest ecosystem. Community forests aren't just for walking your dog, listening to the birds, or simply enjoying the natural world. They're also here to protect the biggest resource we have, our water. This is why we are giving this year's EcoForesters Root Cause Award to the Asheville Watershed Management Team for protecting our forested watershed.
The fact that the city owns this property and cares for it the way that they do, Buncombe County is fortunate to have such a unique watershed and sustainable quality water that we get from this area. I don't think most citizens in Asheville realize really where the water comes from and why it is, the quality that it is. Quality water originates in the forest itself, within this watershed. And without a good forest cover, a healthy forest, good road management, that would severely impact the quality of the water that we have, make it more expensive to treat.
We're pleased to announce that this year's 2020 EcoForesters Root Cause Award is for the Asheville Watershed Management Team. This award recognizes the Asheville Watershed Management Team, led by Lee Hensley, for their work stewarding the 20,000-acre watershed that benefits the whole community.
This certainly is an honor, and we accept this award on behalf of EcoForesters. We appreciate the work they do and the recognition they have showed us through the years. And without this staff, I would not be able to accomplish our goals and objectives, and we appreciate this very much. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Haley Mann, and I have been on EcoForesters board since they began. I'm also a client of EcoForesters and also a donor to EcoForesters. I love donating to small nonprofits that are local here to Asheville, because you can actually see boots on the ground work of what they're able to accomplish here locally, making a difference for us and the next generations to appreciate the Appalachian forests here. I'd love to ask you to join me in donating money to EcoForesters, because they do an awesome job and they are just a great nonprofit to support.
Hey everybody, I'm Lang Hornthal, and I'm the Communications and Development Director for EcoForesters. What a crazy year 2020 has been, full of changes and challenges for everyone. But despite these challenges, we realize that learning how to do things differently is at the core of our mission to conserve and restore Appalachian forest. By using adaptive management, we seek to correct the forestry practices that have contributed to our current forest conditions. We're looking for innovative ways to outreach to landowners and to help connect stewardship action to their values and the legacy they'd like to leave their children and their grandchildren. And we also see that many hands make for light work. And by collaborating with our partners, we can accomplish more and broaden our perspectives. We believe more change needs to happen in how we manage our forests, but we're proud of our accomplishments in 2020. Our Sandy Mush Forest Restoration Project seeks to reinvent landowner outreach on a community level. So it's fitting that a pandemic calls us to reinvent this reinvention. Meeting with landowners and getting to know them is an important part of how we match forestry prescriptions to landowner objectives and values. This year has been tough for meeting in person, but we have been given the opportunity to improve our virtual programming. Our YouTube channel has almost 20 new videos that explain our practices and help to train landowners. While we long to resume our landowner tours and offer in-person training, we are excited that the videos will be available to landowners when they are ready to view them. Funding forest stewardship is one of the top barriers for landowners on both public and private lands. There is no shortage of forest restoration needs, so we must challenge conventional thinking and leverage our resources and partnerships to get more done. EcoForesters is doing our part by innovating funding mechanisms that incentivize landowners to increase their stewardship budgets. Our newly formed Invasive Stewardship Fund and Sandy Mush Project offer cost share matches that can double stewardship budgets while controlling invasive species. Most landowners want to do right by their forests, and the more barriers we can remove, the better. Lastly, this year has shown us that working together to overcome adversity will always be the best approach. We are proud of our involvement in the Pisgah-Nantahala National Forest planning process. And this year that process came to a head with the release of the draft management plan. With our partners in the Nantahala-Pisgah Forest Partnership, we provided the Forest Service with a first-of-its-kind, comprehensive set of recommendations that will reduce conflict on the forest and increase the pace of necessary ecological restoration. Similarly, our Sandy Mush project would not succeed without our partners and the many talents they bring. Thank you for your partnership and commitment to our region's forests. One such partnership is with the North Carolina Cooperative Extension. Extension was formed to help get landowners the latest information and to help them make wise forest management decisions. Our next award is for Mark Magalos and a lifetime of achievement in the realm of forest education and outreach.
I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of the Extension Service, my role there for the last 34 years, and to my loving family who provided the patience and my ability to run across the state countless times, dark, late hours, but it's been the joy of my life to provide information to landowners across the state, professionals, tax advisors, everybody in between. It's great, and we're just getting started. That's the neat part. So as a recipient of this award, like other Lifetime Achievement Awards, it's not time to rest on the laurels, but time to get back out there and do more of the good stuff that got us here. Thanks.
Hey y'all, I'm Mary Van. I'm the non-native invasive species control leader and forestry associate here at Eco-Foresters. Non-native invasive species are essentially plants and insects that have had a recent introduction into our landscape, primarily through ornamentals like things we plant in our yard like privet, burning bush, bittersweet, the list goes on. The non-native invasive species that are found here have no biological control, which is a fancy way of saying that the environment here has no way to keep them in check. Non-native invasive species have become a limiting factor in forest management, meaning you can't really manage your forest without treating your invasive species first. So knowing what invasive species look like is a really great step towards ecological stewardship for your forest. Our non-native invasive species control crew chemically and mechanically treats non-native invasive species in and around western North Carolina forest. So essentially what that looks like is each crew member is equipped with a handsaw, pruners, a hatchet, and a correct applicator bottle with the correct solution of herbicide to treat target species with having very minimal impact on non-target species in a forest. The best part about my job is getting to work with landowners, whether that's private landowners, folks with the Sandy Mush Coalition, conservation groups, state organizations, through outreach opportunities like the Forest Her workshops, which are put on by the NC Cooperative Extension. I also really enjoy getting to walk and talk with landowners side by side, teaching them how to identify and treat non-native invasive species on their own properties. I also work with landowners to come up with invasive management plans of how to control certain species on their properties. Treating non-native invasive species can be really daunting, and it is a process, but one positive note is it does get you out in your woods a little bit more often, looking around and seeing what you've got. One of the biggest barriers to forest health is the lack of planning by private landowners. Almost 70% of Western North Carolina forests are privately owned, yet only 25% of those privately owned forests have forest management plans. But encouraging landowners to plan is only half of the formula, as implementation is necessary to bring about the restoration needed on many forests. Each year we recognize one landowner or family for their stewardship ethic and desire to improve their forests. This year's recipient is no exception. Bruce and Teresa Patillo are committed to removing non-native invasive species on their property in Henderson County. Not only have they planned and prioritized areas to treat on their property, they've also dedicated time to actually putting in the work. And it's a family affair, as Bruce's parents have been right alongside them, treating those non-native invasives. Their commitment to their forest is inspirational, and it's why we honor the Patillo family as this year's Eco-Foresters of the Year.
I like serving on the board of Eco-Foresters because I'm from this region and I really care about the forests here. And Eco-Foresters is one of the only nonprofit organizations that works on stewarding the land and the forest around here. And they work particularly with private landowners. And nearly 70% of the land around here is privately owned. So, it's really up to thousands of private landowners to steward their land well to make sure that this region remains as great as it is right now. If you love Appalachian forests, and especially if you are lucky enough to own a little piece of Appalachian forest, I encourage you to contact Eco-Foresters, consider joining, becoming a member, consider having them help you with the management plan or any other sort of work that you think your forest might need to leave it better than it is now.
I hope you've enjoyed learning more about Eco-Foresters' work and mission in this virtual annual event. And I want to remind you that our work is possible because of you and your support. So please consider making an annual donation to Eco-Foresters to help us in 2021 and beyond. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you again out in the woods sometime soon. Bye-bye.